name is Robin Costain. The presentation is titled How Safe is the Water? It will talk about how contaminated water affects our overall wellness. The topics will include overall wellness, unsafe or contaminated water, specifically how the groundwater in my hometown of Merrimack, New Hampshire has been contaminated. And finally, any recommendations and strategies that I think will help the issue. What is wellness? Everyone has their own idea of what wellness is. According to the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Association, wellness has 8 dimensions: social, intellectual, financial, spiritual, occupational, physical, environmental, and emotional. You will see how all of these dimensions are related and one affects the other. Social practices influence views of what wellness is. For example, for me it is extremely important to stay as physically fit as possible and make sure I eat healthy. Not only does this make me healthier, but it also helps me think clearer. Exercises like yoga are not only good for the body, but also for the soul. In the past 10 years, the bottled water industry has grown to more than a $4 billion business. Many think bottled or filtered water is safer than tap water. As you will learn later in this presentation, in some cases it is the only choice. There are also laws on the book to mandate safety. For example, every state in the country, with the exception of New Hampshire, requires adults to wear seatbelts. Another effect on wellness is tolerance. As we have seen a lot lately in the media, the ability to coexist and be tolerant of others plays a big role in our overall wellness. It has a direct impact on our social, spiritual, and emotional well-being. When you really think about overall wellness, our idea of it and what impacts it, we have to realize that it comes from many different disciplines, such as humanities, in which historical events have affected wellness, science in which technology has affected wellness, and wellness as a business. Remember the bottled water industry, and not to mention the fitness industry? Most of us remember where we were when the planes crashed into the World Trade Center, or when the bombs went off at the Boston Marathon. These two historical events, as well as many others, have impacted wellness on all levels. Aside from the obvious health of those directly in harm's way, we also have it has also affected all Americans. It has instilled fear. It made us either question our faith or embrace it. And in many cases, it promoted prejudice. It also had a financial implication. The stock market went nuts after the
Another topic that impacts
all the
wellness,
business that were lost had a ripple effect on the
more and
economy.
more involved
People lost
in
jobs.
self-advocate for
All of
their
this
own
impacts
health.
our overall
This makes us
wellness.
feel more powerful
Another topic is healthcare.
in making choices.
People are becoming more and
together
more
with our
involved
doctors. This
in
gives people
self-advocating
peace of
for their
mind,
own health.
as
This
well
gives
as
us more
improved
control and provides more confidence. What influences wellness? As I stated at the beginning of my presentation, I will talk about how important it is to have clean, safe water. The Environmental Protection Agency is in place to keep our environment clean and safe. They are working with the company and community that have been affected by the contaminated wells that I will talk about later in this presentation. They are there to improve the situation and make sure it never happens again. Healthcare reform has also influenced wellness. With the new presidential administration, healthcare reform is really up in the air. It has been a bone of contention for many Americans. When you can't afford healthcare, you don't go to the doctor. This directly affects your wellness. We will have to wait and see what our new president does. Historical events have had both a positive and a negative effect on wellness. We have seen this country jump into action to help neighbors and complete strangers. We have all become more aware of our surroundings. See something, say something. On the negative side, we are afraid. We think twice about going to major events. I know people who will not fly since 9/11. Look at the immigration situation going on right now. A country that was once accepting of everyone is now cautious. Technology does play a big role in wellness. Today we have devices such as Fitbit to track our activity, apps for our smartphone to keep you moving such as Couch to 5K, and there are so many more. Medical advances. Not too long ago, few of us who thought it was possible to have bionic limbs. Or what about face transplants to correct face deformities? Or stem cell cloning? All of these have positively affected wellness. Companies have a social, environmental, physical, and financial responsibility to make sure employees, the community, and nature are not harmed by their business. All companies should have a sustainability plan as part of their mission statement and be a good corporate citizen.